Dear students, today we will start with our chapter number 7, Temperate Grassland, Prairies. So before starting, first of all, I want all of you to once again understand this diagram. This is your 3 heat zones of the earth. So you can see this is the longest latitude, equator, then Tropic of Cancer in northern hemisphere, then Arctic Circle in northern hemisphere, Tropic of Capricorn in southern hemisphere, and Antarctic Circle in southern hemisphere. So this is North Pole, this is South Poles. Equator divides our earth into 2 equal parts, northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. So when we study about this important latitudes, we cannot ignore 3 main heat zones, starting with torrid zone. From Tropic of Cancer till Tropic of Capricorn, from Tropic of Cancer till Tropic of Capricorn, this area is torrid zone. Whereas from Arctic Circle till Tropic of Cancer in the northern hemisphere, and from Tropic of Cancer till Antarctic Circle in southern hemisphere, this yellow portion, this yellow area, the temperate zone lies between 23.5 north and 66.5 north in the northern hemisphere, and between 23.5 degree south to 66.5 degree south in the southern hemisphere. This yellow portion indicates the temperate zone, and this one is our frigid zone. So there are 3 main heat zones: torrid zone, temperate zone, and polar zone or frigid zone. The temperate zone, our chapter is about temperate grassland, prairies. Actually, the grasslands, they are known with different names in different countries, in different places. But the maximum grassland lies in the temperate zone. In this zone, the maximum grassland lies. So what is the temperate zone? The temperate zones lies between 23.5 degree north and 66.5 degree north in the northern hemisphere, 23.5 degrees south and 66.5 degrees south in the southern hemisphere. This is the location of temperate zone. Most of the grassland, they are located in this temperate zone only. So here you can see this is a world map showing the different type of grasslands. So the green portion, this green area, the green shaded portion shows the grassland. You must be thinking that what is this prairies, savannas and steppes, downs, pampas? These are the names of grassland. Grasslands are given different names in different places. For example, if we talk about North America, the grassland in North America is known as prairies. If we talk about South America, the grassland in South America known as pampas. If we talk about Africa, the grassland is known as savannas. If we talk about Russia, then or Asia, the grassland is known as steppes. And if we talk about Australia, the grassland is known as downs. So in this way, the grassland is known with different names. It is not written here, but this portion in South Africa, this grassland is known as veld, VELDS, velds. So this is very important, students, because I have given the same map in your recapitulation also, where you have to fill that in which continent which kind of grassland is found, whether it is prairies, savanna, steppes, downs, or pampas, or veld. Okay, so the prairies, they are a stretch of land in the center of North America. You can see this North America. So what it is, the prairies, They are vast stretch of land in the center of North America, and this land is either flat or hilly, and it is covered with tall grasses for miles and miles. For miles and miles there are tall grasses, and hardly any trees are found. I have collected some images to show you. So in the next slides you can see those images also, where you can see a land where in miles and miles there are only grasses. Hardly you will see any trees. Now something more about it, that before the coming of the European settlers, the land of prairies was used as grazing ground. Grazing ground for herds of bisons. Bisons are what? Bisons is the largest land mammal in North America. If we talk about North America, in North America, bison is the largest land mammal. But now it is almost extinct. It is hunted, and today they are almost extinct. So next is about the climate. One more thing, the star fact is given in your book on page number 41. The star fact is the word prairies. They come from a French word meaning meadows. What is the meaning of prairies? It is meadows. 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 Meadows means grassland. The prairies comes from a French word meaning meadows. Now let us talk about the climate. Students, you all must be knowing about the different climatic conditions prevailing in different part of the world. As we studied about the different zones, I have told you in the starting only that these zones are very important, because the climate of a place depends on these zones, different zones, whether it is hot, it is moderate, or it is very cold. So different climatic conditions prevailing in different part of the world. Some part of the world, they have extremely hot, there is extreme hot climate, whereas there are some areas where it is moderate. Some parts of the world have extreme climate, where like summers are very hot and winters are very cold, and these parts they receive low rainfall. If we talk about climatic condition in temperate zone, in prairies, the climatic condition is this only. As the prairies, they are located in temperate zone. Where does prairies located? Prairies are located in temperate zone, and in temperate zone winters are cold and summers are very hot. What is the climatic condition in prairies? In the climatic conditions in prairies, winters are cold and summers are hot. Now let us talk about the rainfall. Moderate rainfall occurs mostly in the summer, and there is occasionally rainfall in winter. So maximum, if we talk about rainfall I have already told you, where the temperature is, where the climatic condition is extreme, there is very low rainfall. Yes, there is moderate rainfall in the summer and very less rainfall in the winter. So this is your recapitulation one. Number 1, dash, dash and dash are heat zones of the earth. Number 2, the grassland in North America is known as. Number 3, the winters are dash and summers are dash in prairies. Number 4, grassland in Australia is known as what? Number 5, the word prairies comes from a French word. And what is the meaning of that word? I told you that it is in your star facts. Number 6, this is heat zone, right? So mention the heat zones of the earth. Also 5 important latitudes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, next topic is your vegetation. What kind of vegetation is there in temperate grassland, in prairies? Vegetation consists mainly of grass and few trees, where I told you that in prairies the land is either flat or hilly and it is covered with tall grasses for miles and miles, and hardly there are any trees found. very few trees are found, and the soil is very fertile. Now, why the soil will be fertile? There is one reason. That reason is these two rivers, Mississippi and Missouri. These two rivers are the reason that why the soil is fertile in prairies. Water is available in plenty from the river Mississippi and Missouri. In general words, we can say that Mississippi and Missouri, these rivers, they provide water for irrigation in the prairies. So these two rivers, Mississippi and Missouri, these are the two rivers. They provide water. These rivers provide water for irrigation in the prairies. Now on your this world map, you can see these two rivers. This is North America. This is North America, right? So this is Missouri, and this one is Mississippi. Missouri is already marked. Missouri is marked, and this is Mississippi. So one more clear diagram image is there in your next map. You can see here, this is your only map of your North America, and you can see here this is Missouri and Mississippi. So they have mentioned it very clearly. This is lower Mississippi, this is upper Mississippi, this is Missouri, right? So next is wheat basket of the world. Now what is wheat basket of the world? Students, this is very important that prairies are called the wheat basket of the world. The reason is the production in prairies. The farmers, they produce enough for the country and also for the export also. Actually, because of these two rivers, Missouri and Mississippi, the soil is very fertile. As the soil is fertile, production is more. So prairies, they are called the wheat basket of the world. The soil and the climate of prairie are the most suitable for the cultivation of wheat and maize. So the production of wheat is so large that USA exports surplus wheat to other countries. This is the reason, therefore, the prairies of North America, they are called the wheat basket of the world. All of you should know that why prairies are known as the wheat basket of the world. The answer is this. Prairies are called the wheat basket of the world as a farmer, they produce enough for the country, and rest surplus part they export. Export means they sell in other countries. They have enough for their use, and whatever is extra, whatever is surplus, they are selling it to the other countries. Now number 2 is the main crops. Which are the main crops grown in the prairies? The crops are wheat, maize, rye, oats and barley. Next is this, these are the farms where I told you that hardly any trees are found. So these are the two farms of prairies. All the work such as plowing, sowing, harvesting and threshing is done by the machines. This machine is known as combine. Combines are the machines which those who are doing all these three work all together. So this is combine. So the farmers in prairies, they are very rich. What is the reason of the richness? What is the reason of the happiness? The reason is again the same, because prairies are known as the wheat basket of the world. The soil is very fertile. They grow, they produce much for themselves, and rest of the part surplus they are selling in other countries. So they use technology, advanced machines. Next, the farmers, they live on the farms and call their homestead. This is one example. Such kind of houses which is in the farms, they are known as homestead. There are some farmers, those who live on the farms only. They live on the farms and they made their houses over there only. To those houses, they called homesteads. Next is silos. What is silos? Here you can see these three boxes, right? What it is? These are called silos. What is silos? all the food grains, whatever they are producing, whether it is maize, barley, wheat, oats, everything they are storing in these bins. So all the food grains are stored in the big storage bins, and these storage bins are known as silos. In other words, we can use the word granaries also. So where they store the production is called silos. Right now people they use a word like godam also. So but in prairies it is known as silos, where they are storing their production. So what is silos? All the food grains are stored in the big storage bins. They are known as silos. Next is the western part of the prairies, where we studied about the fertile area of prairies, right? Where because of Mississippi and Missouri, soil is fertile. So there is hilly part also. The western part of prairies is hilly, and where the part is hilly, the soil is not very fertile. So this is that image which shows that in these images it is clearly shown that soil is not so fertile. So whatever is grown on these areas, the animals they are reared on large open grasslands, and these open large grasslands are known as ranches. So what are ranches? Ranches are the open grasslands. Ranches are the farms where cattle are reared. So people they take their cattle in these farms, and in these farms cattle are reared. They do not grow here crops or other things for their use. It is only for the cattle. What are ranches? Ranches are the farms where cattle are reared. Now next is they are reared. Why they are reared? They are reared for the meat and products like milk, butter, and etc. Now next is the last, that is Chicago. What is Chicago? Chicago is the important center for slaughtering animals, killing animals, to kill animal for their commercial purposes, to kill animals to sell their skin or something like. So Chicago is an important center for slaughtering animals. Big dairy farms have also been developed here, and they have now modern machines. Even milking is also done by the machines. So this was the end of your chapter. This is your final recapitulation. Number 1 is prairies are located in which zone? Number 2, the dash and the dash river provide water for the irrigation in the prairies, where we studied about the soil is fertile. Why the soil is fertile? Which two rivers they provide water to in the prairies? Then food grains. Food grains are stored in the bins called silos. Bins where they store their wheat, barley, oats, and surplus food. Then in prairies, the farmers are called their home. In prairies, I told you that some of the farmers, they live on their farms only. They live in their farms only. So what they call those homes? Next is, what is a ranch? This is your final recapitulation, students. So there are other questions also which is given in your book, page number 42 and 43. You can try to solve your back exercise, think and answer also. One more thing, that is your world map. On your world map, you have to mark the temperate grassland of the world. So this is North America, South America, Africa, Asia, and Australia. So which are these grasslands? Students, you have to do it on your map. Fill it in your map, and then you can check your answers from your book, page number 40. It is already mentioned there. So which grasslands these are?